Hello, it's the 1212 podcast. Isn't that more simple?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
nicer.
more time. I like it.
Welcome to the latest instalment, and welcome to my humble abode, lads. I'm joined by Darren Matthews Jordan Robinson. How are you?
All good, man. Thank you for having
Yeah.
us down.
Yeah, grand.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you making the long journey.
Well, I mean, it's not really a long journey to be fair now.
We
It's-
did leave last Tuesday.
Yeah,
Did you?
exactly. Yeah, the
Tractor.
Sherpa died on the way here,
Yeah.
but the donkey's fine.
Who drove?
I did.
Yeah.
Which
Did he
is-
pick you up?
He did. I was afraid my car wasn't going to make it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you off for Halloween or what? I can't normally get you during the week.
Yeah, I'm just off on holiday. So
Oh, yeah?
I'm not. Yeah, no, I can't normally do it during the week because I'm a real person. Because comedy pays so well, I'm greedy, so I still have a job. You know,
Yeah. It's the way to be.
you know yourself.
It's the future.
Exactly.
I know. We're all
No.
going down that road.
Yeah, I mean, comedy's obviously it's something that you'd love to do as your job, but if the tax man's watching, it's just a bit of a hobby. Really.
Yeah. Nobody gets paid to do stand up, do they?
No.
Yeah, we do it for the love of the arts.
Yeah. It's good
So we
fun.
can,
It's
so we
a
can
focus.
build studios at the back of our house.
Yeah, it's a vocation. That's all it is.
This may as well be a Newry City Supporters Club meeting
That's
here
true.
It really does feel.
between the three of us.
It has that kind
I
of.
say that I've been to 2 matches, but
Yeah, we haven't quite indoctrinated. You'll have a tighter
Mm.
time getting this year because it's a lot tougher in the Premier.
yeah. Hasn't
Yeah.
been a great start, has it?
At least we're not last. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we can-
Harder league too.
absolutely.
It's just you support pretty much. It's the kind of support Newry and anyone who's playing Portadown, that kind of thing. So,
Right.
Fair
Yeah,
assessment.
so it's been a pretty great year for us so
Yeah.
far.
Portadown be the scum then, would they?
It's.
I think maybe everyone in the league is just sort of second. I don't want to shy talk Portadown in your podcast. Let me
Oh,
right
no,
do
I
your
100%
windows. You're very
will.
close
Shy
by.
talk them. Shy talk them. Who
That's
gives a
okay.
fuck?
They might.
Yeah, they might. Just don't give my address out. We'll be fine.
That's no matter.
They played each other recently, didn't they?
Yeah. 3-1 win to Newry. I
Yeah.
wasn't at the game, but
You aren't.
no.
Have you been to many games this season?
We were there on Saturday. Been to the Oval.
Got beaten Saturday, didn't they?
2-0.
Down to 10 men. No.
Yeah. I seen somebody on TikTok actually like vlogs the matches now. Have you seen him?
Yeah, the 1 minute match.
Yeah.
That's Ali.
Yeah, that's good. Keeps
Very
coming
good
up on my feed, and it's nice where I feel like I just don't have to endure all that, the cold weather and queuing up and.
You get your highlights in a minute and go,
Yeah,
oh well, glad I
that'll
didn't
do
go to
me.
that.
That'll do me. Yeah, it was like the Liverpool Leeds match the other night. I recorded the match because I had a gig, but my gig was in Lurgan, so it was only 5 minutes away, and it was with your good buddy Andy McGibbon,
Oh yes.
the Bonnevilles.
Yes. How was that?
Fucking brilliant.
The Halloween
Absolutely
ball?
brilliant. Yeah, it was such a good night.
Yeah. Oh, them
And,
boys are unreal.
Recorded the match, and I was all, I'm going to try and avoid the score here. I left the house at 20 to 8, right? Got into the place at just before 10 to 8. As soon as I came through the door, a fella goes, "Here, fucking Leeds scored after 2 minutes, 1-0." And I was all, well, there you go. There's no point in me recording this and going home and trying to avoid the score. Half the people there supported Liverpool.
Yeah, so they're
So-
all watching it.
Yeah, so it turned into half of them were all cheering and supporting Liverpool. Salah scored, the place erupted. But then the other half were desperate for Liverpool to win, or get beat, sorry.
Yeah.
And they were all United fans and fucking City fans and whatever, and they were loving it, so there was no avoiding it.
It's a tense atmosphere for your gig then.
Very tense.
I always like
yeah.
going on stage, the hatred in the audience.
it's the best way, isn't it?
My favourite. That's why I play Rangers supporters clubs any chance
Yeah.
I get.
most of your gigs.
Most of them. And the British Legion as well.
Yeah.
I still have nightmares about that
I'm
gig.
still sorry about that.
Oh,
That was
really?
actually me did that.
Yeah.
Did you book that?
100% your
Well, no, I didn't book that.
Right.
That was just where we ended up doing the gig. It was we were booked somewhere else and they hadn't got their entertainment license. Wasn't organised, so they just went.
You said to
"Well,"
shift it?
So they just went, "We'll put it next door," and I was like, "Bang on!" And I didn't ask what next door was, and it was an RBL hall as they call
And
it.
they let
so-
you in and stuff, yeah?
They let me in.
Class.
It was poorly guarded, but it was
Mm.
dead on. Yeah.
What do you mean, poorly guarded?
Well, you have to walk through basically a museum, and it's full of guns and uniforms, and then you walk upstairs, past like all depictions of
The Regala?
the regalia. Yeah, it was
Regalia?
pretty scary.
Is Regala like a... Is that a brand?
Are you thinking of regatta?
Regala.
All I'm thinking about is Regal Filter in my head. I'm not gonna lie.
Regal Filter. Are you desperate for one, or...
No, so I'm in the processes. I was telling you this on Saturday. So I'm in the processes of giving up smoking,
Right.
and it's not going poorly, but I could be doing better, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So,
Is it your vice?
Oh yeah. Well, I have an addictive personality, but smoking and sugar just seems to be the worst two things. Like.
So it's just anything that you can be addicted to.
Oh yeah. Well, no,
Just like why you're not allowed patty power on your phone.
yeah. That's actually a great example of why I'm not allowed patty power. But yeah, no, I've never really had it with a drink or anything like that, or any drugs or anything like that.
Oh man, you're missing out. It's great crack.
At least I can drive home to class.
That's true.
So have you went full cold turkey, or what are you doing?
So on Friday night was the first pack of cigarettes I bought in like about 6 or 7 weeks.
Fair play to you.
But no, I'm pretty much like, you see those disposable vapes, you know, the ones you get in garages and stuff
Elf
like that.
bars are they
Yeah,
called?
the elf bars.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just
My wee lads talk about them.
genuinely.
Yeah, they're called elf bars.
Just to target them toward kids.
That is marketing to children. An elf bar.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's for, genuinely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because and like a lot of the flavors and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know any self-respecting adult that wants to smoke a flavor called gummy bear,
Fair.
apart from me.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what I mean?
That's your brand.
Yeah, yeah. What do you smoke?
See, like I just think it's silly because I'm not afraid of people that vape. When I was younger, like the hard lads in school smoked, so you knew to be like, oh, they're smoking, they must be tough boys, leave them alone. People vaping now, I'm like, I'll beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
know.
afraid of teenagers anymore, especially like, hey mate, I'm like, that's a blueberry, that's lovely.
Not a fan of the old vapes now, I'll be honest with you. I could not have sounded older, but
Back in my day,
not a fan at all.
No?
I don't know. I feel like there's something is going to hit. Shit's going to hit the fan like years down the line, and kids are going to end up with fucking 3 arms. Fucking I don't know, just no teeth. I think there's something's going to come out. Something's going to happen down the line.
oh, this
think-
is like because they just released them. They go, is this like being tested
Yeah.
or regulated like
The
tobacco
other way,
products?
was it in the 60s or 70s? Everybody smoked because there was no harm in it. No tests had been done. There was no scientific research into what it was like. So everybody smoked. So it was I think the 70s and 80s were then spent people giving up because all these cancers had started forming and being released and stuff. So I fully expect down the line something's going to come out and it's going to be like everybody who vaped now has fucking, I don't know, 4 livers.
but
I don't
smell fantastic.
And smell like candy floss.
When God closes a door, He opens a window.
No, yeah, as you said, I couldn't have sounded older. That's when I'm, hey, youngsters.
Yeah.
The guy vaping in the audience last night was like, hey, outside the fuck.
The guy right in the front row.
Yeah, just,
It
I'm
was-
like, it's not tobacco. I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter.
I don't want to breathe something that's been in your lungs.
Yeah,
Stop
it
it.
was very stars in your eyes, just because, like, when you're walking up to the stage, you're
Yeah.
literally walking through a cloud of smoke. It was actually quite nice.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be down in my hole.
But smelling great.
Exactly.
That's the main thing. Where were you last night?
Sunflower, my monthly club.
Oh, yes.
So we did.
Good?
Yeah, it actually went really well. We do it once or twice a year. It's called the open mic special. So it's all the people I don't want to pay,
Yeah.
and we book them. No, it's sort of like new up and coming act. So because everybody was messaging, being like, "Can I get a spot at the club?" And I'm like, "I have no idea who you are." So we do an open mic one, put all the new acts on. Jordan called down for a bit. Somebody dropped out, so he got up and did 5. Tried some new
Class.
stuff.
How'd it
Went
go
very
down?
well.
Yeah, I don't know. Needs work.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, no, it was funny, but it was I ended up, so it was my first improv show that I did in about 2 years last night as well, and it was the 4th or 5th anniversary of me doing it for the first time last night.
No
And
way.
I only
What are the
realized that
chances?
after doing it.
Improv or your virginity? What are you talking about?
Both.
It was a good night. You must be good at improv.
Great at improv. So that was actually really good crack, and I'm back down doing it next Sunday. So yeah, just
Where is it?
Accidental Theatre in Belfast, just on Shaftesbury
Class.
Square.
You enjoy improv?
Oh man, yeah, it's different from stand up. I don't know. I definitely think I like stand up more, but yeah, there's just
There's
I don't
something
know.
there that attracts you to
There's
it?
something so freeing about getting on stage and like you're going like, I should be remembering what I have to say now, but like just going with the flow.
Here's the thing: if I'm MCing, am I improv?
Technically, like a lesser form. It's like improving with stabilizers.
A lesser form.
I think improv's like an
You just call me
acting-
lesser.
Yes.
It's an acting version of stand-up, isn't it?
This supposed to be my friend.
Improv.
Yeah, I've never. Like, I've been to see improv shows, but maybe I just don't get it, or I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Because is it? You've explained this to me before. There's different types of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is it
They're
long form or?
long form, short form. Short form are like kind of the games that you'd see on like TV shows like Whose Line Is It Anyway? and stuff like that. Then the longer form would be like that special that was brought out last year by, was it Middleditch and Swartz? Or there was like a Netflix improv special, and that's pretty much like I think it was like a long form montage where you can't actually see much of a structure. They're just going like, when we feel like we need to edit, we'll edit, and that kind of thing. So, and that's the kind of thing I do. I don't do short form.
Nope, still no clue.
What form does Michael Scott do? What's he do?
Michael Scott? Oh,
Bit of short form.
oh,
is
no,
it?
yeah, no, it's comedy sports he does, which is like, it's genuinely a thing in, I think, Canada, where you know the way we have games here where you're playing rugby, hockey in like high school and stuff like that. You can choose comedy sports, which is just improv, and they
That's
judge you on it.
bananas.
Yeah, it's
That's amazing.
very strange.
You
Yeah,
do improv in school.
Do you have to wear like shin pads or anything, or like what's the
just floaties. That's all you
what-
need. Like,
I was gonna say, what's the regatta? Call back.
The regalia. Is that, so hang on. So when there's schools in America or Canada, you can. I mean, is it like doing drama? But they're.
I think so.
I have heard of some people where they're making kids do stand up or something, or trying.
Oh my
trying to
god,
develop
could you
your-
imagine?
That'd be amazing. Just like a 6-year-old being like, my mother-in-law.
Didn't Mickey Bartlett? Didn't he do stand up in university? Does he have a degree in stand up or a degree in
Mickey's
comedy or
degree
something?
is a drama degree, but I think obviously it helps you.
Specialised
Oh,
in
yeah.
comedy? Did he know?
Can you do that?
I'm pretty sure he had something to do with stand up in his degree.
If so, pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
live performance, isn't it? Like so.
Yeah, true. I remember seeing, was it a video that Paddy McGahey put up about him doing stand up at a school talent show? And I'm like, that man has not changed.
Like recently?
The video was from about 1989.
Yeah, yeah,
It was like an old VHS tracking and all on the
Yeah.
TV.
I don't think Paddy's just turning up to
Yeah.
St. Louis.
SP in the corner.
Yeah,
For
no,
fuck's sake.
Paddy was Paddy, he put it up and it was him. It must have been he was doing bits in between the school talent show. But it was it like Roy Walker jokes or?
Oh, he was in
something like that.
school.
Yeah.
It wasn't Paddy
No,
McGaggy
no.
going back to school, or he was booked for a corporate. It's
No.
That's your school.
primary school kids.
That's
knock,
my worst
knock, no?
nightmare.
Right.
I'm not
right,
too
right.
bad. I'm pretty old. Most of my teachers are dead, so won't be too bad.
You're younger than me.
37.
I'm 38.
Oh yeah.
You'd have been in the year below me.
But we went to school in 2 totally different towns, so
Yeah. Same county.
fair. We'll give you the geography.
Yeah.
Did you pick geography or history? Clearly geography.
Yeah, I picked geography. Failed it.
Did you?
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Hang on, there's one. This might be the common factor where we've all had to have like life experience to sort of end up where we're at. Did you do well in school?
Yes.
Did you?
Mhm.
Did you do well in school?
No, hated school.
I have GCSEs you can play Scrabble with.
Yeah,
Same.
pretty much. Pretty much. Fucking woeful. But I put it down to the reason why I didn't do well in school is because I hate being told what to do. I think
Okay.
my whole childhood I was told what to do. I was never given the option of going like, what do you want to do today? What do you want to wear? Where do you want to go? It was army-esque almost with our regatta on.
Catholic school.
Pretty much, but at home, homeschool,
Yeah,
Catholic
same
style.
idea.
Yeah.
No, we had to do that thing where it was. I went to a school in Bestwood called St Paul's, and it was like Catholic school.
Mhm.
But it was dead on. But because I had been to like a convent school for primary school,
Yeah.
so you just always assume in your life the church is going to be telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Then you get out in the real world and you go, "Hey, this isn't real."
Yeah, you're on your own again.
Yeah.
Is that like with nuns and stuff like that?
My head
Remember.
teacher was a nun.
What? That would put me off learning. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, she wasn't actually teaching. She was just in her office being terrified,
yeah. Jeez,
like
no.
Dumbledore, but she's a nun.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I got in trouble in school, it was bad, like, just getting shouted at by the teachers. But when you guys, like, in a convent school, you're getting not only in trouble in school, but you're probably going to hell afterwards as well.
Yeah, that's true as well. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to hell anyway, being a Protestant. But
True.
it's yeah. well,
So
I'm
the
I'm
pressure's
look,
off.
I went to Catholic school. I'm pretty much an atheist now, but I always do have the deathbed confession option.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, you might have that one. Oh, do you know, you probably don't know about that, do you? Do you know you can just be a heathen scumbag all your life and then deathbed confession, absolution, straight up the stairs?
See, this is why people are supporting Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah. You can
Genius.
say whatever you want.
Speaking of Protestants and Catholics, I have a game
We're so original.
that I have devised. I know. I have a game from the 90s that I've devised, right? And I've called it Prod Stewart versus Philomena Taigley. So I'm going to give you a celebrity, and you're going to tell me if they're Catholic or Protestant. Right?
Superb.
I don't think there is a game that is designed that I will be better at than this one.
Fair enough.
I think I'm going to be
Yeah.
great.
Then you have a pen, or can you keep your own scores?
I can keep my
Okay, so
Yeah, I
keep
was
score
going to say a good comedian always carries a pen, but
Mine's over there.
none of us.
Yeah.
Okay, first one, Neymar Jr. Plays for PSG.
Catholic.
Catholic.
Yeah.
I say Catholic. He's Brazilian.
He's Protestant.
Is he?
Yeah.
From South America?
According to
That
Google.
can't be a thing.
According to Google. That's what I thought too. I thought Brazilian, not a chance. Him and Kaká as well. So there we go. So 0-0 so far.
Fair enough.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Italian name? Catholic?
I'm going Protestant.
He's a Catholic. Oh, 1-0 to Darn. Leonardo DiCatholicio.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Mexican name, come on.
Yeah, Protestant.
Catholic.
Is that a Protestant country, is it?
Oh,
Mexico?
Mexico?
Yeah.
100% not. But like, I'm just going against the grain here.
She's American. I'm
Right,
just being
okay,
really,
okay.
really stereotypical.
What'd you say?
I said Catholic. He said Protestant.
She is a Catholic.
Ah.
2-0 to Darn. Speaking of Michael Scott from The Office, Steve Carell, who I thought was Jewish. I don't know if that's like stereotypical, if that's like racist or sectarian or
I'm gonna go.
what.
I'm gonna go Protestant.
I'm going Catholic.
2-1. He's a Catholic.
Ooh.
There we go.
There you go.
A lot of people instantly have The Office no longer in their top 5. Fuck these
Knew there was a reason why I didn't like
it. Get to the chopper, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Austrian.
Catholic.
Get to the altar. He's a Catholic.
I'm going to say Catholic too.
Oh, did you not answer? I'm so sorry.
Don't be giving him points. Do we help him?
I'm going to give him a point because
Okay,
I
3-2.
did you not get to answer that one?
No.
No, we'll just keep it
Oh,
excited.
I'm
But I did
sorry,
say
I'm
Catholic
sorry.
without knowing anything. So
Yeah.
nice.
There we go. So what's it? 3-2.
3-2.
3-2 to you.
Because his dad was a Nazi and the Catholic Church had a well-known policy of just letting them at it.
Yeah, the whole
Jordan or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Both.
Okay. Next up, Oprah Winfrey.
Protestant.
Yeah, Protestant. Definitely
Prod
Protestant.
Winfrey. Yeah, she's a Protestant.
Have you picked these specifically that they fit the puns?
Not even. No. I don't even
I'm
have
just
it written
rolling
down
your
beside it. I'm
He's
just.
improv, baby.
This is improv that I'm doing. Yeah, this is short
So,
form.
4-3. Oh, take.
There's about 20 left here. So
Hey.
Jurgen Klopp.
German.
Protestant.
Yeah, Protestant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well done. You both get a point for that one.
Yeah.
Right, they invented the Protestants.
Yeah,
Old Martin Luther.
That's the one.
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
See,
Is
I
it
was good at school.
Martin Luther Jr. Is he Martin Luther, or is that? I probably sound so stupid here.
So
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther
Luther was basically invented Protestantism because he protested.
Thought that was William of Orange.
No, I think they gave him some credit later. They tried to anyway. He was already a Protestant.
He was the face, but you know,
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
Martin
the
Luther
brains,
still
yeah, yeah.
Martin Luther King is the civil rights activist who was shot.
in Memphis.
Okay.
Is that who you're confusing those up? So he's not actually related to Martin Luther. The clue is that one of them was white.
Who was white? Martin Luther.
Yes, the German guy. Believe it or not.
Never heard of him. I thought. I just figured it was Martin Luther King Jr.'s dad.
No. Protestants weren't invented in the 40s. Like it's longer than that. It's been going a while.
I remember he says I'm shit at school. I never listened in school. I remember going into my classes and into my exams, and you would open it, the test, and I'd be like, I have
Did
no,
we do
I have
this?
no idea.
Have we
Yeah.
covered this topic?
And my mates are like, we were taught volcanoes for weeks. And I was like, where was I? I was in school, like I had a fucking 100% record.
Yeah.
But where was I in my head? I must have just been in dreamland. I must have been like, I'm going to do this when I'm older. I'm going to go here. I'm going to see this.
Volcanoes, you thought a compostable environment was Drumcree, did you?
Pretty much,
Yeah. Just stay out of Portadown in the summer. It was dead on.
Yeah, one day a year. Next up, Bono.
Catholic. Oh, hang on. I've gone too far.
I'm going Protestant.
He is.
This could be a trick question here. Bono?
Is he like a Buddhist or something?
Full tag.
Is he?
Of course he is.
That's okay.
Bono?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I wasn't
Uh,
sure because, Adam Clayton, the bass player, English, so they let anyone in that band.
Yeah, they would.
It's okay.
Jerry Madole, my old neighbour.
You'll never. Madole's a Protestant.
He is indeed Protestant.
Yeah, I would have gone Protestant too.
Sorry, I've completely cut you
Stop
off
that
again.
one here.
I'm going to give you... Sorry, what score are we on here?
I'm on 5.
I won 6.
5.
5
6
or 6. It would be funny if it finished like 1916, wouldn't it?
And you've been given 2. Like, I was thinking and they just gave me a point.
I'm sorry. This is why I don't host game shows. Ben Affleck.
Ooh, from Boston, so I'm going Catholic.
I will also go Catholic.
It's a Protestant lad.
There you go.
10th
It's
and
not
12th
that
every
bad.
year.
Matt
Matt
Fenway
Damon's
Park.
the Fenian. That's what it is.
That's it. That's it.
Jamie Bryson?
Ah, no.
Like he has the rage of a Catholic.
He really does.
I don't know.
I'm
Do you
going
think-
Scientologist.
Do you think he cracks up every time people call him Shamey online?
Yeah.
Do you think he does?
Shamey Og.
Is that what it is? Shamey Oak?
No, it's young Shamey.
Oh,
Or-
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought Bryson was like Og in Irish or something in English.
No, Og is young.
I
Okay.
am purely doing this just in case he listens to annoy him. Catholic.
Right.
I can say Protestant because I'm a mercenary and I want the points.
He's a Protestant.
There you go.
I have a story about Jamie Bryson that I
Go
don't
for it.
know. Should I? Okay.
You can edit it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Just bleep out the name that I said I had an interesting story about, and I'll still tell the story. Right. There was a documentary being filmed by this comedian who was from like Greenland or Iceland or something, and he got funding to come over here and make a documentary about the NI protocol. And it was on the 11th night. He was gigging with us. And he came to the rest of the comedians and was like, look, I don't have a car, but I need to get to Bangor because I need to interview Jamie Bryson to get his side of the story on the whole NI protocol thing. And I'm going down to the bonfire in some estate in Bangor and I need to interview him. And I was like, okay, no bother. So I get in the car and stuff like that. And the police have closed off a bit of the road where we were trying to get to in Bangor. So the guy ends up ringing Jamie Bryson. And he puts it on loudspeaker, and he's in the back seat, and he's just put this phone on loudspeaker, and Jamie Bryson is giving me directions trying to get through all the blocked off streets in Bangor on the 11th night. And
Jesus.
it is such a surreal story, and it is hilarious to hear that man try and pronounce the word mural. Allegedly,
Jordan.
I'm just going to finish with allegedly.
You're bullying somebody who's not even here. That's bad crack, lad.
I think we should give him a ring and let him
get
come back
his
with
rebuttal.
something here.
You know what?
So this interview had to be done on the 11th night.
Apparently so, yeah, because he was over
So he
here.
filmed the
for-
bonfire and all that crap.
Yeah,
I feel like that's when Shamey Og would be at his like
most powerful.
most powerful, but also at his busiest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe he's the
true.
guy who drives that you see the boys with like the low loader.
Hmm.
Maybe he does that. Maybe he's driving that and putting the forks up because you see the guys up the bonfire, which is madness. You see people climbing that. Somebody's like, climb that. I'd be like, fuck, climb it yourself.
I know.
No.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
Some of they're works of art though, but works of art that get burnt 12 hours later. Do you know? Whereas I think one should be built and then just left forever.
See, I used to have a bit of material that was based on that story. When people were complaining about how much they pollute, they were like, oh, these are, polluting because we're burning wood. Those blue pallets, that stuff that they spray on to make them blue is like carcinogenic. You can get sick off it. So
Right.
they're burning it basically and releasing it into the atmosphere. But I said, if people want like bonfires to end, I was like, don't ban them. I was like, offer to help make them bigger and tell people to stand closer. Would that not end it sooner?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I would lose a couple of family members, but
Anyone you'd miss? No.
no, we'll be good. We'll be good.
Thank you for being meaner there, because I was just going to be like, he's been sectarian, but hey, he's made it all right. That's fine.
Right, we've only a couple left. We'll finish it off here. What are the scores? 6-5.
7-5.
No, it's
7-5?
7-5. Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Protestant.
No, I'm going Catholic. He sold his soul to the devil, and that's a Catholic thing.
Yeah, I need a soul to sell.
Hmm?
Never mind.
Getting a divorce at the minute, isn't he? Going through a divorce.
Is he?
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Giselle.
She left him.
Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend.
So she's over 25.
Call
Yeah,
back. Yeah, they're married for years.
She obviously got with Tom Brady after that.
Yeah.
When she was left on the shelf. Full Fenian.
There you go. Brady.
Yeah.
That's
I said
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Now,
7-6.
when you are hearing these in your heads, are you going like, yes? Or are you like, oh, I now have to hate that person for no reason? Or are you...
Yeah, I have an
No, I'm
unrational.
pretty easy going about my hatred. That's fine.
Yeah.
No.
I hate everybody. It's easier.
It is
You don't have
so
to waste
much
time picking.
easier. Davey Beckham?
Ooh. United. Real Madrid. Fascist. No.
Davey Beckham.
I'm going Protestant.
Protestant. English Protestant in London.
Protestant, yeah.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela? Is that racist? No, is that
Was that an impression, or have you just got a mouthful of sweets?
I was just came back from trick or treating.
That's Mandela, South Africans.
There's like famous quotes and stuff like that about like he finds like Irish freedom fighters and stuff like that very admirable. So I'm going Catholic.
I'm gonna go Catholic because wasn't he big mates with Archbishop Desmond Tutu?
Was he? Protestant. I pointed at you there because you said Protestant. I didn't go.
One of
He's
them.
one of him. He's one of him.
There's one here. Get him.
Jim Curry. Somebody stop him.
Jim Curry, Canadian.
I'm going Catholic because the Grinch was green.
I didn't invent the Grinch.
The clip for this episode is just going to be you saying, "I'm going Catholic," and then just that's it.
I'll say that. I'll say that Jim Curry was a Protestant.
Catholic.
Tie game, baby.
Is it? This is the last one as well.
Oh,
Coming up.
yeah.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
Well, he's not really anything. He's dead.
What did he used to be?
A basketball player.
Religiously. Basketball player.
Yeah, he
religiously.
did that quite long. Right.
Fucking beat me to it there.
Isn't he from Colorado? I think he's from Colorado. So that doesn't
He had a
help.
helicopter.
That doesn't help, whatever.
He had a helicopter which might sway things.
I'm going to go Catholic.
Right, I'll go Protestant because then it'll divide the game and it'll be some excitement for the viewers.
Yeah.
And our winner,
Yes.
Kobe Bryant was a Catholic.
Jordan Robinson. Kobe Bryant was a Catholic.
Yes.
And that concludes our game of Prod Stewart versus Philomena Taigley.
Well done.
Thank you very much for playing, lads. Appreciate it.
Thank
Poor
you.
Kobe.
was
Unlike
well
the
worth it.
Angels, he couldn't fly. There you go. What, too soon?
Far too soon.
He's been
Yeah,
dead
well.
for weeks at least.
I know. He's been dead for... How long has he been dead?
Did he die
It's
like
over
at
a
the start
year,
of the
isn't
pandemic?
Yeah, it was like
feel
in
like
the
it was
middle of the
2020.
pandemic, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think so. Can't remember.
Reginald D Hunter.
Yes.
Tell us everything.
He is a
Was it-
stand-up comedian from Atlanta, Georgia.
Was it everything you expected and more?
So I had met him a couple of times before, not gigging, but
Right.
just met him, and he is so he was my dad's favorite comedian, and therefore he's my favorite comedian. You know that way you have, like, you just wanting to go like, yeah, no, I find that funny too, Dad.
So how was he your dad's favourite comedian? Was it because of where you originated from?
No. Just through watching like Live at the Apollo and stuff like that,
Right.
and like TV panel shows like Have I Got News for You and stuff like that. And we went to go see him in the Ulster Hall and stuff like that when I was like 15, 16, something like that. And yeah, that was the first like live comedian that I saw.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is he lovely?
He was very nice to me.
Oh, thank God.
And
That because you like him, so I'm
That's
happy
why I
for
wanted
you.
to ask you.
Yeah.
so
I don't want to find out you really love him and he's a dick.
no, he's an absolutely lovely guy.
Chuffy.
And it's weird because when I first started doing stand-up, I feel like a kind of stalker when I'm saying this, but I used to go, like, I have been to pretty much every major Irish town to go see him.
Have you? Yeah.
Dundalk, Galway, Cork, Limerick.
We're going to
So every
rewind you
time he's
back.
over?
Major Irish town, you start with Dundalk.
It's the town. But, yeah, and I was doing my first kind of solo show in the Sunflower. And this was back 2019. I was like, you know what'll really shift tickets? If I get a quote from a guy that's never seen me before. So after the gig in Dundalk, I got talking to him and stuff like that, and I must have just come across as the fucking weirdest guy ever. But anyway, asked him a question, going like, I'm trying to sell the show out. Would I be able to get a quote from you? And he goes like, message my Facebook page and we'll sort something out. I was like, fantastic. And I was like, this is great. I'm actually going to get it from like my favorite comedian. So I messaged him the next day. It's like, really appreciate talking to me, and send him a clip. And never heard anything back.
Right.
So the show went on. I sold out anyway. I was very happy with it. Pandemic happened. I'd seen him a couple of times since, and then I got the gig at Newcastle, And I was like, do you reckon he's going to remember me? He's going to be like, oh, mate, I'm so sorry about not doing this thing like nearly 4 years ago. I'm really sorry. So we do the gig. It was really great. I really fucked up bad because it was Teresa Livingston and Rory Woods were on the first half, and I did like 5 minutes just kind of like emceeing at the start. We had a break. Reginald comes into the green room. We're all chatting. It was a really nice atmosphere. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do like maybe 5 minutes and then just bring you straight on and then come on afterwards. Thank everybody. And then that'll be us. And it's like perfect. And I was so nervous because I was shouting myself on at the side of the stage. So I was so nervous when I was getting back up because Reginald D Hunter's like right behind me. I'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Reginald D Hunter. And then I walk out and do another like 15 minutes.
Just pure nerves.
So you didn't remember your own name, and after saying I'll do 5, you did 15.
And this isn't even the worst thing. So he comes out and he kills. He has a great gig. I come at the end, do the whole fist bump thing. It was very nice. It's very, very bucket list moment. And then I muddled my words up at the end. I was like, Newcastle, you've been an awful audience. I meant to say awesome. Say awful. And then I was just like, I'm going home. So we're in the green room afterwards. We're all having like a couple of drinks and stuff like that and just kind of like chilling out. And like the conversation kind of hits like a natural lull. And I can see Reginald D Hunter looking over at me. And he goes like, you know what? I think I've seen you before. And I was like, this is it. He remembers.
Outside his bathroom window.
Yeah, me just fogging up the window.
Just brushing your balls with his toothbrush.
Allegedly. And he goes like, oh yeah, I thought I recognized you. You look like a chunky Abe Lincoln. So it may have taken me 4 years, but I finally got my quote from a poster.
Chunky Abe Lincoln.
That's even better than going super funny or
yeah, exactly.
love this guy on stage. That's even better.
Also, see, as a promoter, if you're telling me you're going to do 5 and then you do 15,
oh yeah.
By minute 8, I'm in the balcony assembling a sniper rifle. We're like, 5 minutes, wasn't I? You fucking
going out like Abe Lincoln as well.
Yeah, exactly. Shot in the theatre.
So all in all,
oh yeah,
good experience.
Fantastic experience. Yeah. Big shout out to Rob down in Newcastle. He's a very nice guy.
How did you get the gig?
I asked.
Did you?
Yeah, it was one of those things where
Hegarty with a sideways. Who books that?
No, I'm asking more as in like, were you approached and he just happened to be on? Or
no,
was, like,
so
stars aligned moment.
I found out that he was on maybe like a week or so before. I was like, fuck. How did I not know about this? Because I hadn't seen it advertised or anything like that.
And you now live approximately beside Newcastle.
I know, right? It was really annoying. I was like, I cannot let this go ahead. So I messaged Rob and I was like, hey, see Reginald D Hunter, and like I've talked to Rob before about it. And I was like, obviously, you know, I'm a huge fan. I was just wondering if there's any support slots going. And he goes like, no, but you can MC it if you want. Now, I have MC'd twice in my life.
Jesus Christ.
And normally you'd think, before admitting or like accepting such a like kind of big deal, you would think about it for more than 1 second. But I was like, you're fucking right, I'm doing that. That's great.
I'm surprised you weren't down MC in the Pavilion Monday night, MC in the Empire Tuesday, MC in Lavery's Wednesday, Thursday.
Just to get ready.
Yeah. I need to build a CV here before this man realizes I'm lying.
Just practicing saying your name from the side of the stage. Just
ladies and gentlemen. Oh damn it.
Yeah, you've been an awful audience as well, right? Like you're like, we're out of the woods. He's done his set. I've got everybody on stage. Once the headliner's on, that's the pressure off as MC. No, you still.
Did you not realize you said that?
I realized I said it when everybody started laughing after I walked on stage, and then I realized I was like, oh fuck, I did say that, didn't I? I was like, well, in case anybody hasn't realized yet, I'm not Reginald D Hunter.
Jesus Christ, that's a very similar story to how I got the Newry match with Liverpool when I contacted Darren Mullen, the Newry manager.
Yeah. And
I was like, you know, I'm a big fan of Liverpool. Is there any chance I can come down and just sort of knock about or do something or film something? And he goes, yeah, let's have you filming or you can vlog the day or something. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, will I bring my shin pads? Or Joe just like kind of chancing my arm. And he goes, do you play? And I was like, yeah, I play a wee bit. You know, I've played in the past, whatever. And he goes, do you know what? Bring your shin pads then. So I went down on the day, didn't bring any camera stuff, nothing. I was like, fuck vlogging. I'm down to play a match. And I was like, no, can you promise me I'll get on? And he goes, yeah, we'll give you, there was 3 half-hour matches, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And he says, we'll give you like you can play the whole third match. And I was like, unbelievable. And then I remember during the second match, somebody got injured and they were all, lads, we need somebody to go on. And I goes, I'll go on, like fucking within a heartbeat. And they goes, right, you're on right wing or whatever. And I goes, now, I was promised I'm playing the whole third match. If I go on here,
Yeah.
don't fucking take me off, and that's the end of my day. I was like, I'm playing the third match no matter what. And he goes, aye, whatever, because half the fellas were over like 50 and they were
Yeah,
all
they're like,
bollocksed
we don't
after
care
10
as much
minutes.
as you do.
Yeah. So,
You were playing for the Newry team, right?
yeah, I played
I
for
was
the
just
Newry team.
imagining you with like a full Liverpool strip on, the training kit and
Yeah,
everything.
John Terry showing up with us,
I know.
coming out of the stands. Where's he going? No, you did well. And what did you do?
Scored a wee goal.
Oh, look at that.
Against Liverpool, you
And I
traitor.
have it filmed, and I refuse to show anyone because it's the worst goal you've ever fucking seen in your life.
Bobble
It's
it?
the worst. I threw myself at the ball because it was coming towards me and I was about 2 yards out.
Mhm.
And I was like, this ball is not going into the back of the net without hitting me somewhere in
Yeah.
my body. And I threw everything at it and it missed. I went to head it, but it hit my knee before it hit my head and went in. And I was like, that'll do me.
Hey,
And do
that's
you know
it.
what, too? See the pros, the Liverpool pros, you were talking like Don Hutchison, some fella I don't even know, supported Liverpool all my life, never seen this fella before. I mean, fuming, screaming that I was offside. And I was like, I wasn't offside. There's a fella fucking, you can see in the video
Yeah.
afterwards, I was like, I wasn't offside. I mean, they called that linesman everything. And this is a friendly in Newry.
They're competitive football.
Bit of
There's
crack.
nothing friendly about
I
it.
mean, those lads, even McAteer was a slobber the whole match.
McAteer got nutmegged and he was furious.
Yeah. He
Evans
he
won-
tried to nutmeg me,
Yeah.
and I just happened to close my legs in time, and it hit me and went out.
Yeah, one
And I
of
was
the
like,
old
thank
Newry
fuck.
players nutmegged him and then danced around an alleyway and the crowd went
Yeah.
wild and he was raging.
Wasn't Don Hutchison too? He was going to fucking drive somebody, wasn't
Yeah.
he?
Don
I've,
Hutchison's
I've
like 7.
never seen the like any footballer as livid in my life. Don Hutchison was going to batter a fella. Like he'd have followed him home
Yeah.
if we hadn't went for drinks after. It was unbelievable.
Was it
But
Don I
shows
put
the
you in beside in
mentality.
the bus? Who were you sitting beside in the bus?
Who was I sitting beside in the bus? Phil Neal.
Phil, yeah, because I
Wasn't it?
had the seat and Sean got on the bus and I was like,
Yeah,
Sean,
yeah.
would you like to sit beside this legend of the club you follow?
And do you know what?
Sean was like, oh
The
yeah.
only thing was, I was quite tipsy, so I remember very little of our conversation, but I remember asking him all these questions of
Yeah.
all like the European Cup finals he's playing. He scored winning goals in European Cup finals, and it's like mind blowing dream fucking stuff you couldn't even dream of as a Liverpool supporter. And I was just sitting next to him, just picking his brain,
Mhm.
and then I remember getting off the bus and I was all, I'm half cut. I remember none of that.
Because I sort of I had the seat beside him and then Sean got on and I was like, well, Sean actually supports it. There's no point talking to a Man United fan. I was like, Sean, sit there and chat to that man. I was sitting across and it was like adorable. I was just looking over Sean. He was just sitting like this.
I was just in
Yeah.
dreamland. Like,
Tell me
in
more about the
dreamland.
European Cup winning goal you scored.
Yeah.
Just,
Ah.
I mean, I thought the erection was inappropriate, but it was a
Well,
beautiful
asking him
moment.
to touch it was inappropriate. Me having one was all right. I'm sure he's used to it, but
No, they were a lovely bunch, and then chatting to them at the dinner after and all. It was really, really nice.
wasn't it? Yeah.
It was a nice day. It was good for the club as well, and
Mhm.
big fundraiser and class for the Liverpool fans that go over to see them all doing that.
I forgot I was actually going to wear my Newry shirt for this podcast. I forgot. Do you know
Mine's
the
in the wash, I
special
get the new one.
Liverpool one?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got a player fit
Yeah,
jersey
you got to
keep.
keep it. Yeah, yeah. It's
They
amazing.
are pretty nice, actually.
Yeah.
There's only like 30 of them in existence.
Mm.
Should have got it signed and raffled it.
Should have done it. Aye. But who do you want to sign it? The Liverpool players.
Yeah, should have got the
Mm.
Liverpool because the Liverpool legends. There was like 5 or 6 guys, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because there was
Moldy
some
was
like
running the team.
local lads playing for them and all, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think you could buy in to play for Liverpool, and then they just rotated the teams. The guys would come on and off, sort of
Hmm.
as the fitness dictates when you're 57.
Yeah. What I'd never thought of doing was actually going over to their dugout towards the end and going, here lads, do you want me to kit out for you? You're all knackered, do you know what I mean? I
That
never
would've
thought
been
of
a
doing
job.
that.
I
know.
just swapped the
Darren
jerseys.
played for them.
That's right. Well, he's a
Darren-
massive Liverpool fan.
Yeah. Are you saying I'm not?
Well, yeah, but he helped organise it, so he was
Yeah.
gonna do that. Like
Yeah.
he played a half each, didn't he? He played a half. Or he
think so,
played one
yeah.
game for Newry. He ran the Newry bench, and then he went up and played for
Mm.
Liverpool.
Did he ever play for
Well,
Newry?
I don't think Darren did. No.
Was he a footballer?
Yeah, but it would have been sort of probably your Saturday Sunday league stuff. I don't know. Actually, that'd be one to chat to him. I mean, he's got his coaching
Mm.
badge from something, so he knows what he's
Mm.
on about.
Have you lads ever played football? You play Gaelic at the minute, don't you? Do you
East
play for East Belfast?
Yes. But
How's
we're
that
in
going?
we're in the winter break at the minute, so I've taken up to playing Aussie rules. I played my first game. I've no idea what I'm doing, but it's great crack.
Like an actual team over here?
Yeah, the East Coast Eagles are based in Belfast.
Class.
So there's Aussie rules. There's 4 teams now in the north that they all play a winter league, and then there's a team called the Redbacks, and they play in like an All Ireland league in the summertime. So don't think I'll be doing that because I'll be back at Gaelic, or
Hmm.
should probably retire at 37. But I played underage. I played soccer when I was underage.
Yeah.
So on like a weekend, I would have played soccer, Gaelic, hurling, and rugby in
Multicultural.
like
you.
2 days. And then obviously as you get a bit older, it's like I'm kind of tired and pints are handier. So that's what happens. Plus I was playing music and all that stuff, so it dropped out. So I never really played. Never played football probably at any sort of competitive thing past like under 14s, and then I played for a year, or played a few games when I was out in New Zealand. That was it, because they all thought it was good.
What about you, Jordan? Did you play?
Comedy sports mainly. No, I played rugby quite a lot. I was pretty good at rugby. Played ice hockey, wasn't very good at that. But football would probably be the two sports that I follow most definitely now is either football or ice hockey. Like to the extent where it's like literally it's the only thing I use flash scores for in my phone.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
going to watch those two things.
Yeah, true.
You're a Belfast Giants fan, aren't you?
Yeah, that's all you got here pretty much. But yeah, so my my brother still plays ice hockey and stuff like that. He's actually heading over to Montreal and to play hockey, and it's the first proper time, like it's like a kind of, I don't know, tournament type thing that he's going over for, and it's the first time any of us are actually playing like actual games, and that was one thing I had over my brother for a while, because like the way we have 5-a-side pitches, they have like ice rinks and stuff like that outside in Canada.
Oh yeah.
And
Pond hockey.
yeah, like last time I was over, we were just like messing about with mates, and I was like, I was the first Robinson to play hockey in Canada, and now he's
Amazing.
getting to play at the Bell Centre, and I'm
Jeez.
I'm doing a gig in Offaly.
Other than that, you'd be away playing.
Exactly,
Totally,
right.
You've a gig. You
so-
double booked yourself.
I used to play when I was young, underage. We would have played in the Mid-Ulster League, so we would have been down in Portadown and Lurgan playing games on a Saturday morning.
For all I know, I played against you. I played Mid-Ulster too.
Might have done, but what happens? I played for a team called Brookvale up in Bestbrook, where I'm from,
Right.
and we were in the Carnbane League, which was all in Newry.
The Caribbean League.
Carnbane.
Oh, right. Okay.
Carnbane is like where the pitches are. It's like an
Right.
industrial estate. The Caribbean League.
That's so far from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
then.
Just
It's
me,
fucking industrial.
4
estates.
guys from Antigua and 2 Jamaicans.
Yeah, getting scouted by Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. Maybe that white guy played with White York.
Trinidad and Tobago Bridge.
we would have played that one, and we had that thing because it was obviously the 80s and 90s, and this place was a shit show. We were a mixed team, and that just wasn't a thing. So we were like, there's a
Boys
bit of
and girls.
there's yeah. Oh no, my Gaelic team was boys and girls until like under 14. The girls were 2 best players we had. We did that thing where we were playing Carnbane, and because of like sectarianism, we're like, we're gonna move to Mid-Ulster because the ones in Europe are giving the Protestant kids a bit of a hard time. Then we moved to the Mid-Ulster League.
Right.
So we went from being the most Protestant team in Newry to being the most Catholic team in Mid-Ulster. And I was like, oh, it's the same, but now we're just driving further. Good times.
Do you
Character
miss it at
development.
all?
What?
Do you miss it?
Do I miss playing football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I still like playing 5-a-side, but I think because I'm too competitive to play like 5-a-side, it's probably a
Are
bad
ya?
idea.
You
Yeah.
Batter people.
Shouting at people and all.
Yeah, you do shout quite a lot.
Yeah, I
at
can't help it,
five-a-side.
man.
Yeah.
Tell us this. Is there a comedians football thing going on at the minute?
Yes.
In Belfast.
Yes.
What is that about? How often do you play, or what?
Once a
Have
week.
you been?
Once,
I haven't got. I've been gigging, so I didn't get a
Yeah,
chance.
I go.
By the way, the cat and nets.
Oh yeah, I'm actually pretty
Yeah?
good. Yeah.
Are you?
Surprisingly.
Class.
Yeah, like when you grow up watching Shaka Hislop, you can't help but be
Oh,
good
yeah.
at being
Do you
in that.
dive and shit? Do you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
You can shift it for a big man.
Class.
Exactly, and it's hard to score in 5-a-side nets.
Is it indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Okay.
Stop bullying yourself.
But yeah, it's every fortnight or something like that. The next
Class.
game's tomorrow, and yeah, it's surprisingly competitive for people who have no cardio.
Yeah,
It's great. It's great.
And have you got many? I take it as 5-a-side.
Yeah, 4 or 5-a-side, something like that.
Is it first 10 to put their names down, or what? Or
Yeah, stuff
it-
like that.
you just have
You
10
should-
for
you
tomorrow.
should- actually, I don't know. See, Jack McGee kind of like sorts everything out. He's like the mum of the group,
Right.
and I'm just
Soccer
like,
mum.
yeah, the soccer mum,
Soccer McGee.
Yeah, he has big tits and
Drives a
fucking-
Chevrolet.
yeah, station wagon that he can pick everybody up out. But yeah, no, definitely. The more the merrier. I just
I was added to the Facebook group, you see. I think it might have been Jack McGee that added me to the Facebook group, but then I don't know if I maybe had notifications automatically turned off or something, but I've never received a notification for it.
Do you have to be a comedian to play it, or do you just have to be comically bad at football?
Same thing.
Well, it's actually hard to tell with these
Okay,
people.
fair enough.
No, I don't know. It kind of seems I like the way it's just comedy based. Because you're like, oh, I saw you at an open mic once, and now you're skinning a field full of people.
No, fair enough. That's not too bad.
I feel like there's a full open mic scene that I know nothing about. Is there a full new wave of acts?
There really is.
Yeah.
So there's been like stand-up comedy courses where there's like 9 at a time that are injected in the scene.
And who runs that?
Like Graham Watson was doing one, Paul Moan was doing another one, and it's like there's just like an influx of these new people, and they come up to you and go like, oh, I've seen you, and you're like, oh, another adoring fan, and they're just asking you, where do I get 5 minutes?
Yeah. No, there's loads of people. That was one of the things I had to do that gig last night, was sort of just like clear the lines, because you're just getting all these tons of messages being like,
yeah, I'm
hey,
the same for
people
all
are like,
my
I've
gigs.
done like one gig. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I was like, my gig's not open mic.
Yeah.
My gig is 10 for 10. It's 10 comedians doing 10 minutes, but it's usually people who I've seen or who I know, so I know to book them. So, but yeah, no, there's a whole lot of. I mean, the pavilion there where Luke's running it. I think he's struggling to give people time because there's just so many.
Really?
Yeah. And I keep turning up, going like, any chance?
Yeah.
He's like, there's already 43 people on.
Yeah. Jordan just appears like he's haunting the venue.
Yeah, that's genuinely. I think that is my greatest strength as a comedian, not my comic timing, not my willingness to write new material. It's just being there, you know.
Yeah. Jordan came and did the gig last night. He just kind of called down, and then an act dropped out. So that act was going to do 10 minutes. So I split his time between himself and another act who just came down to show or to show up. So what I did was I said to Jordan, "You've got 5 minutes." And he did his 10-minute set in 4 minutes, and then did a minute of new material at the end. You talk like machine gun. It was amazing.
I was like, why aren't these people laughing? Yeah, I'm like, why aren't these people laughing at the normal bits? And it's because they laughed a minute before, because I got to it so quickly. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. He
did that, and he got the new stuff, and he was like, slow and controlled. Slow and controlled.
Yeah, that's jazz, baby.
Yeah, that was good.
Do you still? I'm going to ask a question, then I'm going to grab us all a bottle of water over here.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Do you still get nervous doing stand up?
No,
you don't.
I really don't.
Oh shit, I do.
I was shitting myself last night before improv, because it's the first time I've done.
Because
it in
it's
like
a
2 years.
different thing, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's a different
Entirely.
beast, like, I kind of find it. Do you get nervous?
I get nervous before every gig.
Serious?
Yeah.
Not like because there's people.
But I'm usually too busy to be.
Yeah.
I'm usually running around doing something.
Okay, but
She's like, hi, I'm the doorman, the sound man, the MC. Yeah, I'm usually pretty terrified. So no, I think like fear keeps you safe. It's a human nature thing.
Yeah.
If I'm scared, I won't make a balls of this. That's my theory. What about you?
I think it almost depends what's resting on the gig, but I wouldn't call it nerves. I would get maybe a bit of butterflies. I would maybe get a wee bit nervous if... Do you know what I hate, right? I feel like... I did this gig the other night in Lurgan, and there was maybe 20 people there that had both never seen me do stand-up before and will never see me do stand-up again. So to me it was almost like, this is one of these gigs, and it's not a comedy club, it's not a comedy night, it's just me telling jokes in between bands or whatever. So I was very skeptical going into that, thinking, how's this going to go? This is going to be these guys' only opportunity to ever see me perform. My reputation almost depends on this gig. But then I had a great gig, and I was like, oh, happy days, that's good. It went down really well.
Yeah, that pressure was off once you realised it was going good.
Yeah, but sometimes I do feel that pressure, but not necessarily nerves, excuse me. Just
one of the things, though, from knowing you for like 10 years, and you've probably seen from seeing the show, you make me nervous because you're the person I think out of everybody that when I watch, you love awkwardness.
Yeah.
You live in awkward.
Yeah.
When the crowd are awkward, you're just like, moo. You really enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I've at the back been like, ugh.
Do you know what fascinates me? I think one of the most powerful things you can do on stage is be quiet. I think a lot of comedians are like, oh, fuck silence, and it scares the shit out of them. Whereas I'm trying my best, or I think I'm good at it now, or I'm all right at it, or I feel okay about it. But at the start, silence scared the shit out of me. Yeah. So I've tried to sort of master that and just go and a bit of silence is okay. It's very actually commanding, do you know what I mean? When you're on stage and you don't necessarily feel like you have to fill every second.
Yeah, you have that great thing where when the silence makes people nervous. Laughs out of silence is great.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're just sort of staring them out, and one person will break, and then that one person breaking makes everybody else laugh, and you're like, I didn't even say anything, and I did that.
That's it. You
That's
see,
cool.
I think somebody spoke one time about Chappelle, and he went on stage once, and he went, "Meh," and the audience all started laughing. He went, "Meh," and he literally did that for about 13, 14 minutes, and everyone was in fucking raptures, and it was like, that's when you know you've made it, because people are already sold on you. People are there to see you.
Was that one of the reasons it was like Eddie Murphy said that's why he quit stand-up? Because he was going out and he said hello and the place erupted, and he was going, what's the point?
Quite possibly,
You all think you're laughing because of who I am, not because of what I'm going to say. So I remember seeing that where he was like, basically it was no challenge anymore, where his whole thing was that he loved being an up-and-coming comic when nobody knew who he was, but he could make a room erupt.
Yeah.
But once everyone knew him, he was like, all right.
Yeah, because I almost feel like as well as like I'm climbing the ranks, as are we all, do you know what I mean? But I only recently have started to enjoy the journey more, whereas I have always beat myself up and been like, why am I not up here? I need to get up here. Let me up here. Let me up here. But it's not always rosy at the top, as they say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's I feel like sometimes we need to take a step back and just go, let's just enjoy the journey, because you're gigging 5 times a week or 4 times a week or 3 times a week. You're driving here, there, and everywhere. Every situation's different. You're not being treated like a fucking A-list superstar.
Yeah.
But you're being looked after. You know, there's loads of things that come with it. But I feel like I, for a long time, beat myself up because I wasn't at the top from the very beginning, which is fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I wasn't very realistic at the beginning.
You have to do that to realise that. Then you're just continually gigging. No,
Yeah.
I mean I run stuff. As I said, what I do is like my part in the whole comedy scene is it's like development manager. It's like if you want to do the big boys, you come down and gig with me, and I'll send you on loan to Huddersfield. You know, that sort of way. It's like and then I'm running the 2 shows, so I'm doing that. But it's one of those things where I used to do it when I played in bands. I would run gigs, and I was like, I want to run a gig that I would like to play. So I try and pay well. I look after people, you know, that sort of thing. Where it's like I want this to be a gig I want to do, and then if people take that as an example, they'll go and start their own gigs other places, and then there will be more of a scene for us to do, which is why I still do my 2 monthly shows, and then try and do something different as well.
Scene's fucking thriving, isn't it?
It's flat out.
I've never seen it as big and as successful and as booming.
I think the only thing is
the new rock and roll.
Yeah, as I was saying as well, where people think you've just sort of come out of the ether.
Oh yeah,
and you're like doing this 10 years, decade.
Yeah, I know.
Scrabbling around the place to 6 people. That was the one I was saying to him. I was like, I always get really jealous of like the new comedians when there's this whole wave of people who've been gigging for like a year or 2, and you'd be chatting to them and they're going, "How you getting on?" They're like, "I did a gig the other night. It's just all right. There was only like 30 people there," and I'm like, "Get
you
fucked.
have no idea.
you have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm right on the precipice of that generation of stand-up comedians where I'm like, I remember gigging to 5 people, but then I should be more appreciative, even if it's like only like 20 people in and stuff like that. But then I'm also kind of like, oh my god,
are you in between?
like this. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm a bit of a floater in that way.
You are a piece of shit.
Thank you, Darren. Been doing it since what, like 2019? Start of 2019?
Was it 2019 you started?
You've only been gigging for 3 years.
Yeah, you didn't gig for a year and a half for it as well.
Yeah.
And there was a fucking pandemic in the middle of that?
2018, 2019, something
18
like that.
because your first show was 19.
True.
You did Pig Heart.
True.
Yep.
True.
Did Diona start before you or after you? Do you know?
Can't remember.
That's bananas. I
Diona.
can't believe it. The phoner.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's been good. I did improv for a year before that, and it just felt like the natural kind of succession to going from like you're on stage with a group of people, like maybe 5 or 6 different people, to going like, oh, I don't need to split what I'm getting paid between 6 people now.
Yeah,
This is great.
Is improv strange as well because you'll say something that will get rapturous applause and then you're thinking to yourself, I'm never saying that again.
Yeah, true.
Is that weird? Because at least if you have a joke and you go, well, that's good, I'll keep that.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. You're like, oh, well, that was fun.
That'll break my heart.
Yeah.
But then does that almost mean you can post all of what you've done online?
Oh yeah. There's no kind of. It's one of those weird things about getting stuff filmed, especially because you're like, we're paying all this money, and like when you're doing stand up, you're like, I am confident in the material that I've written for this. I think it'll go down great. But then when you're doing improv comedy, you're like, this might well be shit.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. So I've got one or two kind of like 30-minute sets where it's like I'm pretty happy with everything here. So, and that's what I send out in show reels to anybody that wants to book me.
Class.
Give improv a go.
Would I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would never pursue it. I would never contact someone and go, "Can I do improv?" But if someone says to me, "Do you fancy coming and trying improv?" Yeah, I would give it a go. Yeah, I like that kind of vulnerability. It's almost like an open mic night or a new material night or a new material set where you're just getting up and you just don't know how you're going to be perceived or what the audience are going to think. You just have to get out and just say what's on your mind. But I feel like one of my strongest points doing stand-up is audience like reactions and interaction. So I feel like it could be a good thing for me to try it, but it's not a goal. It's not an ambition. It's just something I would try. Just it's like a footballer being asked to do yoga. You'd be like, I'll fucking give it a go, Joe. If it prolonged Giggs' career, I'll give it a go. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to be a yoga trainer. I still want to play football.
Well, like something you can try after you give up the being a shepherd. So it's
How long have you been sitting on that one?
The fuck's my stick?
I thought about it. Just beat you around.
Beat you to fucking death, my big curly whirly stick.
That's a bishop.
I told you I'm fucking stupid, Lauren. You should know this by now.
No, you're right. A shepherd's crook. That's the one. That's the one that you used to in like the old days. They would like take you off the stage with.
Your time's up.
In the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
What is it called? What?
Shepherd's
crook. Right.
Yeah,
Just
you're
remember
from Ruggen. You should know some crooks.
Half my family.
Oh,
You just hit your knee there as if you're going. Are you,
No,
do
no,
you want to head on? You're like,
No,
"Great."
I was,
That's
I was
enough for
selling
me.
Darren's joke there. I was like, this guy.
yeah. Thank you.
It's called being a good friend.
Yeah. Thank you, pantomime audience. Well, slap my thigh.
Oh dear. Imagine I was just like, nope, I'm done.
I always find that whenever somebody like gets up during a gig to like go to the bar, go to the bathroom, it's right after you've always told the punchline. Like, oh, she's not having that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like referencing that too when people just get up and you're like, you talk about whatever the setup to the joke was.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're not a fan of fucking my brother being a unicorn. What's going on here?
No, that's one of the things. So like the thriving in the awkwardness, and then when you're on stage, you have the potential. If somebody starts you, because you always go out with the intention of. I think you go out with the intention of just doing your material. And
Every
then
gig.
it's like if somebody starts Sean,
If
you
somebody
have the potential to be
sneezes,
the meanest person.
yeah, I know. I almost like to think there's two
Hegarty's
reasons.
like, fuck you and your family.
There's two things that I can put that down to, right? One, when I first started doing stand-up, I couldn't drive, so I had to gig around Lurgan. And when I gigged around Lurgan, it
Training
was
ground.
rough as fuck. So you were telling people to shut the fuck up. You were like, I'll murder your family if you don't fucking stop talking. Do you know, you had to be really, really cutthroat. And I feel
that
like...
was just in the preschools.
So that's one of them. And the second one, I feel like in my life, like in my personal life, I'm a family man. I'm Mr. Clean Cut. I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I wouldn't say boo to a goose. So I almost feel like it's good that I can go into a comedy club and the second I grab a mic, I can just turn full cunt. And then just the gig's over and I just back to driving with two hands on the wheel at 9 and 3 and listening to fucking classic FM, and I go home and have my wee bowl of cereal and watch a wee episode of something and go to bed. Yeah, so I almost put it down to that, but I know there's times I come off stage and I'm like, I feel like every person I've spoke to personally hates my guts, but the rest of the audience will think I'm funny. Do you know what I mean? So if I lose 10 people, that's a small sacrifice for gaining 90 followers.
You gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
what
thought
I
you were
put
going
it
to say it. We were just like, this like red mist descended. What happened? You know, like you come to and you're outside. How did I get out here?
No,
You just did 25 minutes. Did it?
Oh dear.
What's the comedy goal, or what's the next thing? What's the next step? What do you want to achieve? Especially since you've now gigged with Reginald D Hunter. Where do you go from there?
Well, my thing, I always wanted, when I was doing improv, I was like, SNL. That would be class, wouldn't it? And then I was like, I just don't think I could date Kim Kardashian, so that dream went out the window.
Seems like hard work.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I don't know. It was Conan. I would love to have done Conan, but that's not a thing anymore. So I'm gonna say being able to gig at Just for Laughs in Montreal
Right.
I reckon.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And I reckon it's somewhat obtainable.
That's an achievable
Yeah.
goal, 100%. Yeah,
I've no interest in going over to Edinburgh or anything like that. But I think
Have you not done
Montreal would be
Edinburgh
No.
before? No.
I've been
Just
for
don't have spice burger around kicking about the place.
yeah. I've been to shows there, but I've never performed.
Reginald D Hunter.
Yes,
4 times.
I just
I just followed him around the fucking
every
Royal Mile the whole day.
every
Wasn't
night of
even gigging.
August. Just you
Yeah.
at Reginald D Hunter's show.
Yeah. I thought you looked familiar. Did I not have a restraining order against you?
It'd
But,
be funny if your quote for your next fucking solo show was just Reginald Hunter going "fuck off" and leave me alone.
No, because you did Edinburgh.
Oh, I've done Edinburgh. I would say 8 to 10 times
That's
now.
terrifying. Because I did that thing where I remember chatting to other comedians from here, and one of the years I was home, I flew to Australia, did Perth and Adelaide for like 4 weeks, and flew home. And I was like, because I like stayed with my cousins and stayed with my mates, so I didn't have to pay accommodation.
Brilliant.
I flew home and I was like, I made money. And the boys were like, I went to Edinburgh, it was flat out, and it cost me £1,500.
Yeah, yeah. That's how it was for me at the start. Now, the last couple I've made quite a bit of money, which
Thank
has been
God.
amazing. You
Yeah,
come
yeah.
home and you fucking pay your mortgage and your rent, and it covers you for the few months when you come home and you're comfortable. But at the start, it was grim. Like, it was grim. But the way forward, I think, for a lot of people are the bucket shows. You just pay what you
Yeah.
want, and it's classed as the free fringe, but it's obviously not free. They should
Mm.
probably change the name of it. I don't know if they have, because I haven't been over in a few years, but they should probably change the name of it from free fringe, because some people do come in with the pretense that you don't have to pay, whereas it's like, it's pay what you want.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah, a lot of clubs down in Dublin and stuff do it that kind of way as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I was doing the Crunch there a couple of weeks ago.
Like busking.
Kinda.
But as a club, though, does it devalue the performer, do you think?
I don't know, because the Crunch it was a really good night, and yeah, they seem to kind of like stand at each entrance with the bucket. I was like, I think the stock line is like it's free to watch, but you have to pay to leave, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've even got like card readers and stuff like that now. So it's like you
Class.
can't even go like, oh, I don't have
You can't
to use
escape.
insurance.
Oh yeah, cashless
Yeah,
society.
yeah,
That's the way to do it.
Exactly. So
That's
it's
pretty
brilliant.
clever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
smart look.
So we're going to move away from having even a bucket then in the future.
Yeah,
It's just
probably,
going to be
yeah.
a wee machine. It's gonna be ATM comedy.
Yeah. Suggested rate.
Mm-hmm.
I've already plugged in. Just tap it out.
Yeah, we put 20% tip as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what you think.
What about yourself, Anne? Have you any goals or anything you want to achieve in comedy?
I would like to do more international gigs. I really love touring and I love doing festivals and being away. And I'd love to get back and do shows around Asia again. I'd love to do some European dates. I think I really love travel and comedy lets me do it. I'm not sure
Yeah.
I'm even a comedian. I might be a backpacker that knows a couple of jokes. It works though.
There's a solo show in that.
Exactly. I think I've already done it twice.
Would you ever gig to like cars of strangers, Joe? You just fucking stick the thumb out, and then somebody lifts you up, and you just do a set, and then they drop you off.
But explaining to them what's happening
Like
before.
full backpacker. Have you ever signed just going?
No, that's the start of horror
I
movies,
tell
man.
jokes.
But I've done. No, I've been really lucky. I've done stuff like where you're on. I did like a rooftop gig in Bali.
Mm.
You know, I did gigs around Singapore.
Ballymena.
Ballymena. Yeah. No, stuff like that. I've done like Thailand and all those sorts of places. I was over in Australia for a long time. I was in Canada. Did New Zealand. It's cool, man.
Do you
It's
play
like-
the Irish card? Over there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of my
Suppose you
shows.
have to.
One of
They
my
probably
shows was
expect
called
it.
Whiskey and Ginger Meal.
Right.
Yeah, that's what. So that was the one I took around Asia. And it was great fun.
Class.
Yeah, yeah. They automatically. It's one of the ones where somebody came up to me once and said, "I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds funny." Because you're gigging in countries where they actually speak English, not like us trying to.
Yeah. I've done a few gigs internationally, like around Europe mostly, but there's a barrier there, especially with the kind of jokes that I tell with, working around the English language.
Yeah, wordplay.
Yeah. When it's not their number one language, it can be a struggle. So you kind of have to go a lot slower, and I almost feel like I'm at my best when I'm performing to local crowds because I can just talk quite fast and people understand every word. Whereas as soon as you go even to England, some people have hardly ever heard our accent before, and you have to slow things down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Whereas I love just going fucking culty bastard and throwing out all these localisms.
You have that where it's, if you find when you're gigging in places, have you ever gigged with acts who English is their second language and they're doing stand-up in English? That's mental.
That's mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do that. And somebody came up to me one time and they were like, "Oh, your set was really good." And I was like, "No, your set was better." I was like, "You've learned a language and understood enough of it to make a joke in the second language. That's fucking fantastic."
Yeah, that was
very commendable.
Yeah, before the pandemic, that was my kind of goal, because I was like, right, I want to do a solo show. Did that. I was like, right, I want to learn 5 minutes in like Spanish or something like that and go do it in Barcelona. And then I ended up having heart surgery and didn't do it. Completely forgot about it until you said there about other people doing.
Way more essential though, I feel, in the...
Oh, what, the heart surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
What would have been really funny was if you had to learn 5 minutes in Spanish and then went to Barcelona and they actually speak Catalan. They don't even speak Spanish. That would have been amazing.
What do you do?
Yeah, learn Catalonian.
Well, I mean, this sort of the same question back to yourself. What's next? Because you're writing. You're not even just doing comedy.
I know. I know. I don't know if I'm coming or going half the days. To be honest, I'm just fingering so many pies at the minute. But I don't know. I feel like for the past maybe 4 or 5 years, I've had no goals and nothing to reach for.
You've just been going.
I've just been turning the wheel. Yeah. So I feel like I maybe could be a good time coming up to the new year, where I could have maybe a resolution. I could maybe come up with something and go, what is achievable? Maybe have a couple. Do you know, what's something that I could do right now that I could maybe put on in a few months? What's something I could maybe aim to do by the end of the year? And what's something that is fucking ridiculous that why not shoot for the stars?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I might have 3.
Short-term, medium, and long-term goal. That kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
But
pretty cool.
I heard a thing recently. I don't know who said it, but it was very kind of like, oh fuck, I need to take notice of that. Where it's like you need to almost write down where you, in like dreamland, where do you want to be in 5 years' time, and then work backwards. Write down, right, what is it that got you there? Do you know, you maybe sold out Carnegie Hall because you did Conan. So how do you do Conan? You did Conan by having a really good maybe Edinburgh Fringe Festival and getting a big agent off the back of it. So you do that, and then you work your way back, and then you go, I lived in Craigavon.
Yeah. We're going forward again. We're going forward.
I did a podcast in my garage, you know, and then just start to build it that way. So I don't know if I'm that ambitious with stand-up. I don't know if stand-up's my forte in the long term.
But it's something that has taught you, you know how to write jokes, so you know how to write. You can write something else.
Yeah.
You can still write humour in.
Yeah.
Must be weird though. Do you ever work on a project and you go, that's a really good joke, I don't want to put that in the project now, I want to use it as a joke?
Every day I wake up.
Oh, that'd kill me.
I don't know whether
I wouldn't know where to divide the work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Should I
That's
keep
me.
that for a script? Or
That's every day of my fucking life.
Yeah.
And that has driven me to insanity and back so many times since I started doing stand-up. Because I don't know whether to put something in a script or into a set, or do it as a social media joke, or use it as something that might be topical, or it's just, I feel like there are so many avenues.
like I don't
know
think
what
people
to do.
realise, because like people like yourself, other comedians like Kieran Bartlett and Dave Elliott, and those guys write scripts, and you can sell a script and it might never get made, and you're like, there's loads of really good stuff in that I just can't use now.
Yeah.
Because you've already committed it to the
shit.
piece.
Never thought about that way.
Yeah.
I was just like, you sell it, but then
No, that's it. It just doesn't get made.
Yeah, fuck.
Stuff gets developed and then they just go, nah, we're not going to bother.
Can someone claim plagiarism even if you were the one that wrote it?
If you wrote the piece, it doesn't get made, and then you be like, well, I had a couple of good jokes in there I'm going to use.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't write fuck all.
There'd be contracts and stuff. Fuck. That would come into contracts. But yeah, I'm excited for the future, but I almost am happy where I'm at now. Do you know what I mean? Are you happy?
Yeah,
He's happy.
there.
flat out. I need to
Career wise
probably
and personally?
Yeah, probably need to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're too tired. You're too.
it's because I
you're
work full
stretched.
time as well, and then I drive the country 3 or 4 nights a week. So I'm driving anyway, and then you get home and you go, I have to drive to Dublin here. That's really bad idea. I'll probably take a few months off when I put the car over there dead.
Just knackered.
Yeah.
Just trying to get home. Darren's taking 4 months off. He broke both his legs. Yeah, upturned outside Dundalk. Yeah, no, I'll do that. I need to step up. I need to write more. I'm getting very bad. I'm coming up with stuff when I'm emceeing and then remembering it and turning it into a bit, but that's really lazy way of writing.
Yeah, I see, because I do like bullet points, because I can't physically write down every single word of a joke. I usually try and learn the joke and then write down just one bullet point. But I go through my old sets and I see something where it's like Queen Elizabeth, and I'm all,
What's that joke?
what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's completely brand new information to me. So I'd say the amount of material that I have forgotten or lost or came up with, as you say, for one gig, or you're MCing and you just scribble something down on the back of a flyer,
Yeah.
and then it just goes. I God knows how much material I've lost in that.
Well, I mean, you do a lot of shorter stuff. Would you write stuff out and like try the comedians have the thing where we do like the rule of three, try it 3 times if it works. You get a 1 or 2. Have you done stuff you've written it 3 times? But like, nah.
Oh yeah.
So there's loads of that. Yeah, I have that stuff too. Where you try something 3 times and go, it doesn't work.
I don't throw it out. I don't throw those like little like rags of paper that you write jokes that because I don't know. I kind of feel like
Oh no, keep it. I have it in my book, and maybe I can rework it. Maybe I can work on it again and
look
come back to it.
with a new set of eyes kind of thing. But no, I always have this thing where I'm like, yes, I'll try it and stuff like that, but nothing is ever permanently like not good enough.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. If you've thought of it or if you've put it in your set, there's at least something there to start.
Yeah,
that you
there's
can
a reason why you
rewrite
wrote it down kind of thing.
Yeah. But there's even jokes in my set that I hate telling or that I think are dog shit, but they get a really good reception, so I just tell them. Or there's something that is like where I do the impression of Celine Dion if she was from Derry.
Yeah.
I only do that because I have another part of that setup that gets a big laugh. But once I do the impression, it's not actually that funny. It's actually quite shite and pathetic.
But it has to get you somewhere else.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or the first bit is the funny bit. But in order for me to get to the second bit, I don't think that makes sense. I think the second bit isn't funny.
Yeah.
But I have to build up as if I'm going to do the second bit for the first punchline to be funny.
So, that's like a callback in reverse.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna do a really funny joke, and then I'm gonna tank it after.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that? Mood killer.
Yeah, but then once you reference it too, it can get a laugh and stuff
yeah.
too. You know, so there's sometimes I like telling jokes because it makes the audience groan, or because they're like, oh,
you
for
do
fuck's
that, and then
sake,
you go,
because
shut it on that one first.
yeah. But it's one thing I learned recently is to just not take everything so seriously. I think for a long time I took everything really, really seriously, and I've got to the point recently where it's just been like, just go with the flow and just try and have a good time and just be really silly. Just be really, like, somebody contacted me last night and they were all, we've got you coming up to do a show, could we get a headshot? And I just sent them like a Snapchat filter of me with a baldy head doing like this to the camera, and I was like, please use this. And they were all, I'll ask the bosses, but if not, could you send us a proper one too? And I was like, see, if you can't use that, come back to me and I'll give you another one.
That's good. You're like, I'm not. If I give you this, you'll just ditch it through it. So no, find out.
But Kieran Franco too, he booked me for a gig about 2 months ago, and a couple of days before the Queen died, he was all, can you send me like a bio or something that I can put on I think it was either the poster or the flyer or social media. And I says, seeing Sean Hegarty do stand up is a bit like waiting for the Queen to die. Some people are going to be watching it, laughing their heads off, eating popcorn, and other people are going to fucking be devastated and cry their eyes out and have the most worst time ever. Come to a show and decide for yourself. But then, like 2 or 3 days later, the Queen died.
Yeah.
But this is what they used on their social media and all. And it's like, some people are going to think I'm a full cunt for doing that.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, I'm just going to do that rather than listen to all the shit I've been in or done. I'm like, this is, to me, is so much funnier and so much more lighthearted. Do you know what's very sinister too? But I've almost like started doing. I watched not the roast, something to do with Norm Macdonald on Netflix recently, when he died and all the comedians got together at the Comedy Store and just talked about him. That made me almost have an out of body experience where I was thinking, how do I want everyone to remember me? Do you know what I mean? Because I am so serious all the time and so quite sort of dull at times, or quite just always with a lot on my mind and a lot on my plate, and being a full-time father and fucking full-time comedian and full-time 20 other things. I've got to the point recently where I'm like, I just need to have a bit of crack sometimes. I just need to just give people stories where it's when it's my funeral, they can go, remember he did this, or remember he showed up to this wearing that. And it's just made me not take myself as seriously so much more now. and I'm enjoying that road that I'm starting to go down.
It's weird. It's like, to be funny, you know what you need to do? Fucking relax.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard. It's really hard to go from that. Like, if you're having
Yeah.
a bad day, or if you're
Yeah.
really serious,
Oh yeah.
and then just walk up and be like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey.
That's why it's about enjoying the ride now too. Do you know, in more ways than one?
Yeah.
But people always say, like, do you know, once you have this as your career, stand up, you become so much more serious, because it's no longer just you talking about being blocked or fingering somebody or whatever. This is your career.
Yeah.
This is your fucking profile, your brand. This is where people are paying big money to come and see you, or for you to endorse their brand or whatever. So you have to be bringing your A game. You have to be at the top of your game at all times. Do you know? Whereas this part now, we're just getting paid to have a laugh. So just get paid and have a laugh.
And this is why I still work full time. I'll tell you, I would love to get somebody who, if I can get to a level, there's my ambition. I want to get to a level where someone else does my social media. That's my dream.
fair.
That's the dream.
And I just show up, tell jokes, and go home,
Yeah.
and not worry about it.
I didn't
That'd be class.
realize, but that's my dream as well.
Yeah.
If I can even pay someone to reply to my DMs, I think I'd be happy. I'd be like, that is just a big burden.
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna give you
now took
£300
away
a
from me.
week to deal with this nutcase.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. No, that's a realistic goal. Get to a level where someone else is doing the lifting. Like.
Yeah. 1,000,000%.
Then I can just give you my gigs to be like, Jordan, run them, will you? My brain's
Oh,
fried.
no, that is one thing I will never do.
Run gigs?
Run gigs.
No interest?
No, not that I don't have any interest, because it would be nice to have like a steady stream of gigs where I know I will get a spot.
You babysat my gigs.
Yeah, no, I've babysat them and stuff like that, but
Oh, when it's everybody booked, they know what they're doing. You just make it your
it's ticket sales for me.
crack in the whip.
It's like at the minute I've got a show coming up, and so I've got most of the show written, but it's the selling tickets part. It is the
Despise it.
that I don't think I'm necessarily bad at it, but it's the thing that I have least confidence in myself in doing, if you know what I mean.
I think it's selling yourself online all the time too.
Yeah,
It gets so mundane, and you start to hate yourself, and you're like, all people see of me now is just me plugging this show.
Well,
like
we're
a
all comedians as
desperation
well,
almost.
so the terrible imposter syndrome. It's
Mm.
like when you say I'm a stand-up comedian, you're confident enough to say that, and people go, "Are you any good?" I go, "I'm alright." That's a shit way to sell yourself.
I know.
But you feel like a dickhead
Yeah.
going, "Yes, you should come see me because I think I am very funny," and I wouldn't be up on stage doing it if I didn't think I was funny in the first place.
Exactly, and
We
I
have-
wouldn't
Exactly.
keep getting booked and all. these
Yeah, but you
different
have that
clubs.
weird thing where somebody asks you and you go, "I don't know, like, you should come. You can come along and have a look yourself. I don't mind. If you want to, you don't have to." And then you're just like, you're absolutely telling this person not to come see you.
Yeah.
In fact, no, I'm not selling you a ticket.
Yeah. You can't come, but tell your friends. I've made this awkwardly.
You got anything coming up, lads? You want to promote?
Yeah, I've got that show WWJD.
Oh yes.
When Will Jordan Die? Coming up 22nd November in the Sunflower Comedy Club. Sweet plug for you.
MC.
Do
You
want to?
MCing?
Am I MCing? I was going to come down to the gig anyway, that's fine. I'll do
Okay,
that.
sweet. That saves you buying it.
Let him do it, he can be really mean, and then you look lovely. I mean, that Jordan fella was sound. Especially having the guy from Lurgan call me a bastard 8 times.
Just fly kick someone from the stage.
But so yeah, I've got it's almost sold out. So and it's another got a month.
How long are you
until,
doing?
40 minutes. So
All new stuff?
all new stuff.
Like 100%.
Like-
Every bit of it has never been heard before.
Like okay, so it has been heard. Say the last 3 weeks, where I've been like putting like the kind of the whole shit sandwich of doing stuff that works, closing with stuff that works, and just
Yeah.
put the new stuff right in the middle.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for a while, but it's all in like different places and stuff like that, like Carlo and Offaly and stuff like that, where nobody's seen me before. So they, which is very risky going.
Yeah,
have
it is,
no
yeah,
gauge.
yeah,
They
yeah.
don't know if like, oh yeah, maybe his normal material's good. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, got that coming up, and then apart from that, I've got nothing really, apart from just gigging away until New Year.
And what date's that show again?
22nd November, Wednesday.
There you go.
Tickets,
Class.
5 pounds,
So-
Eventbrite, something.
Tell them at the start,
Bargain.
tell them at the end.
Bargain.
Exactly. I know. I felt bad about charging more than a fiver, just because it's like a brand new show, and there was like a wee disclaimer on the ticket sales and Eventbrite that this might well be shit.
Yeah.
We're
This
gonna
will
find
be-
out together.
This will be worth a fiver.
If anything, it's everyone's going on this trip together.
Yeah, exactly right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're all microdosing my comedy, guys.
Right, let's leave right on something I've just came up with. If you could give one of the newer comedians one tip
Hang on,
based-
Can I not plug my stuff?
You don't have anything.
Do you have?
You work full time.
Yeah.
You don't get to plug stuff when you work
Yeah.
full time. Take the sacrifice that we take.
Yeah.
Sell your soul.
All right, what's your bit about you? I mean,
Go. What have you got?
no, nothing. Go ahead.
No, what have you got? Come on, tell us something.
No, I just thought if I vocalise something, I'm going to bully myself into doing something. I'm going to try and organise a comedy pub crawl in Belfast next year.
Class. Why don't
As
you
you
do it
were.
for Christmas? Too
Too
close?
soon. I have
Is
fucking
it?
too much on.
Hmm. What if you have too much on next year though? Wouldn't you-
No, because it's going to be the break. January's a nice break to book stuff.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring back the beer tasting show. There's going to be more of it as well.
Class, pick me for that,
I shall.
please.
Go on.
Do you have to get
George's
hammered
gonna be
or
doing it too.
how does it work? I'd
No,
love to
you
do,
do 10 minutes.
Night.
You do 10
Oh.
minutes while they sample their beer.
Can you do a drunk comedians night? Do you think you could combine the two, where everyone has to get
Yeah, I'm
fucking
shit-faced at quite a lot of gigs.
chin bag before? I've never been blocked in a gig.
Yeah.
I've had a drink or two, but I've never been blocked.
Yeah, we can do something where you do like 10 minutes at the first half and then you just get chinned at half time.
Yeah.
And then back out again.
That'd be good.
Just IV a bottle of vodka. Get it in.
I need to take like LSD because I don't drink.
yeah. We'll get you something. Don't worry. Somebody in the audience will have something.
Yeah, it's really good. You're all very welcome, ladies, gentlemen, unicorns.
Right. So if somebody from the pavilion's watching this, somebody who's thinking of getting into stand-up, if you could just give them one tip, what one tip do you think you could give them? That gets them on the ladder, gets them seen, gets them gigs.
So I don't know if this tip will work, but this is what I did.
Reginald D Hunter, torture him.
Turn up to gigs that you're not on at. Show that you're kind of interested in going pretty much anywhere and everywhere. If you are, but don't be doing it unless if your heart's not in it, don't be doing it, and obviously you won't.
Your heart wasn't in it, was it? You don't have. Do you have a heart?
I do now.
You do have a heart?
70% of a heart.
Yeah,
70%.
75. And yeah, no, that's the kind of thing I do. Like turn up, be known by just turning up. I guess that's how I think.
Good tip. It's a good tip.
To sort of reiterate your point, if you're looking to get gigs in the place, by all means, go to the gig first.
Mhm.
Come down and introduce yourself to the promoter. I get messages from people and I'm like, I don't know who that is.
If it's feasible, though, don't be getting people from like.
No, if
Valley
it's
Buffet.
within your scene, yeah, come down and say hello.
100%. But like, would you say the Derry scene is part of the Belfast scene as well? Because it's technically the same country and stuff like that. But it does seem like imagine.
No, but when I'm up in Derry, then come and say hi.
oh, true.
Does it seem like two different?
Like just geographically, not in like there's any like fundamental differences or anything like that.
Right.
It is just a pain in the hole to have to go out to Glen Shane Pass.
It's just far away.
isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
yeah.
fucking far.
I
So
love.
it-
I'm gigging in Derry on Thursday. I love
Yeah.
chicken box brickwork. Doing
Yeah.
anything down there?
I would say that, and if you're a new comedian, when you're on at a night, be there at the start and watch every comedian, learn,
Yeah.
Mhm.
do your bit, and then because people do that thing. I think we're probably all as we're a bit older now. You do a bit and then you run away because you're like, I have to go home to my family.
Mhm.
But if you're a new comedian and you're only starting,
Stick
watch
about.
every comedian, stay
Yeah.
and watch because
Yeah.
I think when we started, you would have watched every show
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still
because
do.
it's the only way to learn
No,
it. Yeah.
apart from last night.
Well, I do because I'm emceeing it and running it usually. But yeah, that's what you have to. You just have to basically just if you're only starting out, watch as much as you can in the live environment. You can watch as much Netflix or whatever comedian specials as you want, but
Doesn't cut it though. You have to be
nothing
there.
beats
Yeah.
that atmosphere. See how other comedians are doing. Watch people who have been doing it for longer. Watch people who are even newer than you. They might have something else on it. So yeah, just watch loads of comedy and be at it. Be a part of the audience.
And you don't know what material you could get to from hearing a topic that someone's talking about, and you're like,
Exactly.
"Oh, this funny thing happened to me. I must incorporate that in
Yep.
some way into my set."
That's it. What about you?
lads,
Piece of advice?
one piece of advice: gig like fuck. Take any gig. If anyone lets you hold a microphone in front of a crowd for 1 minute, 30 seconds, 20 minutes, take it, do it, and just work on getting better.
Didn't work at my auntie's funeral, did it?
Worked for me. I got a stand ovation.
Fair enough. I was wondering why you were at that
was just,
funeral.
rigor mortis. That wasn't. She wasn't actually standing.
What a great place to end. Fucking Darren's dead, Andy. Lads, thanks a million for coming in. Yous are too far away to high five, so we'll high foot, will we?
Yeah, we
Fucking
get it.
pleasure to
Look at
have
that.
you. Let's do this again sometime.
100%.
Cheers for coming down. That's
to
the end
the
of the episode. It's the 1212 podcast. Search for Jordan Robinson, Darren Matthews on social media, and get down to all of our shows and all our gigs that we have coming up. Cheers for your ears. Take it easy.
See ya.